Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on installing a new chain on the CycleKart, so stick around. Okay, so CycleKart chains. This is something that seems pretty simple, I think, to most folks, but they do wear out, they do go bad occasionally. This chain here in the front is one I just took off the Viscount Vincent, and I did have my chain come off when I was running at Dennis's house a weekend ago. My torque converter came apart and the chain got bent in there. So what happened is now there's a tight spot in here. If you were to twist this, you'll find a little tight spot, like where it bent the chain. And then something happens also. These do stretch. This is a racing chain. This is the brand I got this particular one from Amazon. It does not come with your master key. You have to, or master. You'll need master link. You'll need to get one of these. They sell these also on Amazon. But what happens is over time this does stretch a little bit. So you see they're perfectly lined up there, and as they go all the way down here to the end, you'll see they're no longer quite lined up exactly right. This is a little bit longer by, well, let's see. I mean, I moved it since I set it up, but it's just a slight bit longer, maybe a 1/16 of an inch longer. And these are old chains, and I'll show you what happens on these. These are not roller, not the good performance chains. But see how much arch that has in it? Same thing happens with this one. You stretch, and you kind of, these are old chains. They get a lot of arch in them, and the new chain has much less arch. I can't quite get it to do that. But what happens is they start to wear out and they get a little more arch in them. This one's got a lot of arch in it. So they do start to wear out. These performance chains are supposed to be pre-stretched. So this one will stretch less than, say, the cheaper roller chains. These are inexpensive chains. These are, I think, about 15 bucks or something, I think, for that box, something like that. Any rate, we're going to be installing it on the CycleKart. So one of the tools you will need to get a CycleKart chain or a mini bike chain cut to size is a chain breaker. So this is designed for number 35, and this tool is designed for the number 40 or 41 chains. It's a much bigger pin. You can see the pin in there is designed for the smaller chains. The way this works is it basically clamps the chain in there between those teeth, and as you spin this little rod right here pushes out the pins. So I'll attempt to record that when I show you how to do that. So let's see if I can manage to do that while I'm holding a camera. Okay, so I've laid the new chain on the CycleKart, and I've made sure the motor is as far forward as it can go. And I've routed the chain through the torque converter and made sure it's as tight as I can get it. And what I've done is I've taken a marker. If you can see the blue mark. Oh, it's not focusing. Anyway, I marked this right here. There's a tiny blue mark on there. I can see it visually, but I can't see it on the camera for some reason. Anyway, I marked it. That's where we're going to cut this gold part, or this pin right here. Press that pin out, and then these chains will go together with the master link. And anyway, we'll show you how that's done. Okay, so I've laid the new chain up against the old chain, and there's my blue mark. So I will pull that pin out, and probably that pin. We might need to take out both of them just to get the link off. And that will be our new chain. And you can see right here where I've got it lined up. Now you can see it a little better, that the old chain is just slightly longer than the new one. So the new one will be slightly tighter, which is good because I can slide the motor slightly forward of its current position. So let's see if we can get this cut without too much drama. Okay, so I got my chain breaking tool here, and I got my mark. I'm going to start with the outside one because I think I'm going to go ahead and remove both of these. You get underneath both of the parts of the chain there, and make sure your pin's on top of that pin. We're just going to crank it down. You should push that pin out the bottom. Broke it through the top one already. You're going to see it start pressing it apart, so I'm going to go slowly and do the other side real quick so it doesn't warp it too bad, hopefully. Push the other one out. You see how it's coming out the bottom there? Okay, that's what we want. Press it all the way through there. Okay, now it's all the way bottomed out. Okay, so there's that. We'll push this one a little further on this side. It's a bit of a process. What you want to try to do is avoid bending the part of the chain you want to keep. Okay. You needed a pair of pliers to pull it the rest of the way out. It's pretty tight fit in there. Okay, so I've got the chain set up in the vise here. I've locked in the one I'm removing. I'm gonna use a screwdriver and just pry up on the other piece here. There it goes. I'll do the same thing on the piece we want to keep, which is our good piece. Just kind of gently. We don't want to damage the wood here. Unless that came off a lot easier for whatever reason. It's always the way, right? Murphy's Law. A little differently. There we go. Okay. There's the pin we took out, so we got a little bend doing that. But the new chain, or the part we need here, looks like it'll be just fine. All right, cool. And I just noticed that this new chain actually did include a new master link, so I'll remove this. This is my old master link. I'll keep this as an extra, and I'll use the new one because these springs do wear out over time. So I'll get that taken off, and then we'll get this thing installed on the cart. Okay, so we've got our master key here, and I'm going to put the chain down inside the torque converter first, and feed it down through here. Put it around the bottom of the sprocket, to the other side, and all it's perfect. All right, so I'm going to use my master through the outside here, from the inside to the outside. Got that through. This little piece here. And then the little lock here, I'm going to put the round part in the direction of the travel. So this always spins this direction. So this is going toward the front of the cart. It just makes sense to me to do that so that the torque of the motor doesn't throw this off, because if it went the other way, in theory, the engine torque spinning this way could throw the key off that way. So don't know if it even matters or not, but that's just what I've been doing. Let me reposition the camera so you can see that better. Okay, hopefully my hands won't be too much in the way when I put this in here. So here's our part here. Again, this is going to go forward. When they're new like this, they're a little tight, so just take your time. Should just kind of sit down over that part. There we go. Take a screwdriver from the back side and push it forward. Bam, that's it. It's on. Okay. Now all we got to do is adjust the chain with the motor tension. And what I do is I start with just pull it back to where it looks like it's lined up. You're going to line your torque converter up kind of visually. And you want a little bit of movement here. Not so tight that you can't move it. If it's so tight you can't move it, it's not good for it either. But you don't want so much motion that it jumps and pops. So every cart's going to be a little different on how that works best. Just test drive it. If you get a popping sound, that means your chain's starting to pop or jump on your sprocket. And you want to tighten it up a little bit further until you don't have that. And they also don't have any tight spots. When you roll it back and forth, you feel a tight spot or a clinking sound. It might be too tight. So as we're about to wrap up this video, I wanted to mention chain lube. So this is a go-kart chain lube I got from a go-kart supplier. I think it might have been BMI or one of the others. Anyway, this is a really thick chain lube. It comes with the applicator straw to help you direct it. What I'll typically do is when I clean these, I clean it with brake fluid or something like that to clean all the dirt and grease and grime and dirt. Crud off the chains, and then I lube it and I put it in a plastic bag, let it soak overnight with the lube kind of all over the chain. And then we put it back on the cart. So at any rate, I hope this video was helpful to you. And if you have any questions on CycleKarts, please let me know. And we'll be doing some more of these how-to videos kind of focused on certain steps. So hope these are helpful to you guys, and get out in the garage and build something cool.